Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Residential Listing Agreement, or the RLA. It is page 32 in the highlighted compliance review training for the contracts. So this is a 7-page form. So when we are reviewing the listing portion of a transaction in SkySlope, we're looking to make sure that all 7 pages are there. You will look through the highlighted sections here: date prepared, seller, broker or agent, independent broker network would be here. Make sure that the address section is fully completed with the APN being input. This section A1, super important here. We would have a beginning and an ending date. Please notate that this form cannot exceed 24 months or it becomes void. Note this word right here. If this form is longer than 24 months, this whole document is voided and the agent is not entitled to compensation. Keep in mind that 24 months does like, for example, if the form is dated July 7th, 2025 to July 7th, 2027, that is not 24 months. That is 24 months and 1 day. So if you are going out the full 24 months, you want to make sure that you are going 1 day shy of the beginning date on there 2 years later. Most of the time, these are 6 months long or maybe 1 year long. But we want to pause when we're reviewing this and make sure that it does not exceed the 24 months, even by 1 day. There should be a list price here listed. If it is a manufactured home or mobile home, you'll find this box marked. Immediately go over the checklist and make sure that the MHLA is required on your checklist. If you do not see a category for this on the checklist in the listing section, you will add an item and you will add the RHLA as a required document, and then the comments you could say referred to in RLA. Same thing here, PLA, if it is a probate, conservatorship, or guardianship, you're going to make that as a required document in the listing section of the checklist and make it required. Moving on here, you want to make sure that there is a compensation. IBN does have a policy that our compensation, an agent compensation, cannot be less than 2%. If it is less than 2%, then you are going to want to notate it and bring it to the attention of CB, and make sure that the less than 2% compensation has been approved by CB. The reason for this is in our partnership disbursements that we do are always based on no less than 2%. So if an agent has chosen to take less than 2%, they just need to be made aware through CB. We're not the ones calling the agent that's the case, that the reductions for the partnership disbursements are still going to be based on 2%. Many of the teams may have an additional flat amount that is paid. So for example, it could be, say, 3% plus $100 or 3% plus $200. What you're going to do is toggle over to the checklist, and after you have accepted this document, you're going to make a comment in the comment section of whatever the percentage is, plus if there is any. So for example, if it was a 3% plus $100, once I'm done reviewing this document, I am going to approve the document or reject the document. I will not make a comment until after I have rejected or approved, because if I do make the comment prior to that step, then the comment kind of gets hidden and it's not going to be seen. So I usually keep a piece of paper next to me and I make notes of what I'm going to write in the comments each time I'm reviewing a document. So I would make a note, say 3.0 plus $100. Then I'm going to go to the next section. This is not a required section, but we might want to just say that it is the best practice if it is left blank in future, that this is completed. It's not a requirement, but it is a best practice. Moving on, we're looking for areas that have check marks. If we have noticed that the seller and the agent are the same, um, or if there is a referral being paid, we will want the RAD completed. So just take note that if seller and agent are the same, or if this is checkmarked, you're going to want to go over to the checklist and make the RAD a requirement. If there's a referral also in this form, a RAD is requirement. We want to have which MLS this property is going to be placed in. There needs to be at least one filled out, and you are going to look for the MLSA form on the checklist. We're going to note that there is initials here, and that is page 1 of 7. This should be an automatic in here. When it's put in one place, it should be automatically typed into other places. We're looking for any boxes that are marked here to if there's any additional things that may be needed to be a requirement. Let's see here. SPRP, if this box is marked, that form becomes a requirement. Notate anytime the agent adds anything in any of these additional term sections that may add a requirement or a form or a report, or if there's something like here that says termite report has been done, or a buyer to be provided a termite report or a home inspection or something. If there's anything noted here, it then becomes a requirement. This usually is an automatic box that is always there, but it does make the BCA a requirement. If the seller is a trust, this should be marked here, and we're then going to make the trust advisory a requirement. Page 2, we're looking for initials. Page 3, looking for initials, make sure page 3 is there. Page 4, AD is always is an automatic box that is marked, and it is a requirement in the checklist already. The PRBS is an automatic check marks, and it should already be a requirement on the checklist. Make sure initials are there. Make sure page 7 is there, and page 4 is there. Page 5 is just legalese, making sure it's initialed and that the page is present. Getting to page 6 here, another page that is initialed and present. Page 7, then, we're wanting to take note, is it fully executed? Is there a check marks here at ASA? And then we want to know, is the seller a person or an individual, or is it an entity, a trust, an LLC, a corporation, anything other than an individual? Is this entity seller's box marked? And if it is marked, are these spaces completed? If the box is marked and these spaces are completed, then it is not completed properly, and the RCSD form is a requirement. So if the box is not marked and the seller is not an individual, then the RCSD is required. So just note here the note that says if this paragraph is completed, the representative capacity signature disclosure form, the RCSD, is not required. So if the box is marked and these X sections are completed, that form is not a requirement. But if the seller is not an individual or anything other than an individual, and this is not marked, then you will toggle over to the checklist, make this form a requirement in the listing section by clicking the must upload box, and then note in the comments, seller is not an individual, form is required. And then we want to make sure that we're looking for any boxes here that are marked. Does it indicate any forms that need to be required? And is the broker and agent sections completed? And then page 7, all 7 pages are present. Thank you for reviewing the RLA video with me.